All right. Okay. Oh wow. Um. So So I'm actually checking the clock on here from my computer, and I realized this one is not following daylight saving time, which is funny. So I might need to have to readjust that, but whatever. Anyways, what's up, guys? This is Radio Station here. This is going. Yes, finally. This is the. This is something I've always looked forward to because I usually get a sizable live chat, and I do apologize again that I don't always pay attention to what goes on in the chat during the reaction because I'm trying to focus at the same time. At the same time. Um, this is kind of funny. I get more of this of an audience than anything from all the other streams I've been in, and well, except for ReZero. Even Jujutsu Kaisen stream doesn't have it really as packed. So it's just something. Oh hey, what's up, Rizzo? I see you're showing up in as yourself instead of the Otaku Saga, which is kind of interesting. So before we get started, I do need to just kind of let something that people might have known, and I'm kind of glad this didn't happen to this series. So apparently, what happened during the live broadcast of the latest Attack on Titan episode, which I actually did go ahead and watch on the Twitch stream, it got interrupted by earthquake news. And right now, or maybe as of recently, there's an earthquake going on in Japan, and Rizzo, I know he's in Japan. I don't know if he's knowledgeable about it or not, but apparently it happened. It cut short the broadcast. I don't know what happened after. I don't know what happened afterwards with the rest of the episode. I heard that's gonna release on Crunchyroll. I mean, I don't have. I know I don't like Attack on Titan, but it's just kind of interesting to note. I'm glad this was it the episode this one got out though. But damn, that's a little scary to know that there's an earthquake going on in near Japan right now, and actually cut the broadcast. So I am praying that everyone in Japan over there is safe, because even if it's not a big earthquake, it is something that can really shake a lot of people, even if they've gotten used to it. But geez, man, I saw in that stream, there's a bunch of idiots just trying to call out, why are you not showing the anime? Why are you gonna show this? Dude, it's a fucking emergency, a national emergency, and you're gonna fucking get over this. Yeah, it's irritable that it happened and interrupt something they were enjoying, but real life comes first, in all points. Yeah. Yeah, I'm signed to my personal account, which I normally do when I'm commenting on live streams. Yeah, and the thing is that the thing is that this is how crazy the Western fan base for Attack on Titan is. You can't, like I said before, you can't reason with most of these people. You can't. You absolutely cannot. And I might be wrong. It may be just a hilariously vocal minority that is just causing all this fuss. But that was just unnecessary. So I wanted to get that out of the way, because this is probably the only chance I will get to ramble live about the Attack on Titan related situations. And I could go on and say how much I still hated it. I mean, that episode did have a cool scene, but that was about it. Like, geez, man, like those people are just experiencing what's basically a mother part of Mother Nature, and they're gonna complain about that. I mean, when it happens, it happens. It's unfortunate. I mean, it sucks, but you cannot just go whine about that. I mean, if this happened to Jobless Reincarnation, like if it did, then I was just like, it would suck, but I have no reason to complain about it because shit happens. Looks like the earthquake was down near Osaka on max intensity 5. We couldn't even feel it in Tokyo. Okay, good, good, good. It's not a massive earthquake. So it's not. So at least if there are going to be casualties, at least it will hopefully be just a bunch of people injured, and they can they can be fixed up right away. So I'm glad I'm glad like it's not that big. It was not big. Like otherwise, it would be trouble. Like it would be like a national emergency. But it doesn't mean they won't strike up the news about it, because it is because it is sort of local, because it is kind of a local thing too. But yeah, so I got that out of the way. So just a recap. Last week, um, and it was basically the start of their journey. What I like about what Rudy did is that learning language, like he went out to learn languages, and it helped them communicate with Roxy's family properly. So kudos to him. And you gradually seeing Aries' development. You gradually see Rudy's development. Like he's more aware about the problem, the aspects of this world. He's not trying to fool around. Like I want to talk about. I also want to bring up. You know what? I'll bring it up. After the reaction. But it's involving another channel that I've got to know. I've got to know kind of recently. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and start. So sorry for a little bit of a little long chat to start the stream, but let's get it started. So which one is this? Is this the single one or is this the top one? And pray to God the stream, and hopefully the stream is, hold up. I mean, I always kind of worry this PC decided to go on an update by itself, so I'm really crossing my fingers. So alright, episode 10 starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. I was a little disappointed by the lacking amount of views for the last episode though. I'm actually kind of disappointed. Oh. she can handle them no problem. Yeah, right. No, you didn't. Yes, it's alive. Just chew. Just close your mouth and eat. Don't we all? Don't we all, folks? What the fucking get that? No, not the Salisbury steak, but the get that. Gotta get that. Gotta get that beef bowl, rice and vegetables. Damn, there is one colorful. Lizard men and demons. This is an alias. Dead end. Sound travels. Shh. Jeez. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, it's right next. Hmm. No, 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 no. Oh. That die? Oh, this could work. Oh, it's just the new opening. Apparently, they're too easy to fool here. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. That sleek looking building. It looks like it's made out of some, you know, bohemian sort of style. Like it just looks like something out of sci-fi. Hmm. So this stuff. Did he just run out of money? He just ran out of. This man just ran out of money. There's an adventures guild. They're purposely not showing his face. The anime doesn't always get across how Rudy is focusing on learning from his mistakes in the past. Yeah, they're focusing mostly on the adventure. Oh yeah, they're pretending to be adventurers. For sure, they're not gonna recognize him. We don't know him. Are they deaf? What? Oh, it worked. So the disguise worked. He was just testing. Okay. Hmm. Everyone starts at it. Eris is just like Eris just like the little kid you just take over like to Disneyland and SeaWorld just be gawking at everything. All sorts of quests. Well, someone out here to disrespect, huh? Yo, what you gonna do? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That frog's not gonna say nothing though. No, 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 no. You're not at that age. You're not at that age, girl. Yeah, he's making him look like she's one of the Roxy's race. So he doesn't have that sort of reputation. But is it really always dictated by hair though? What is up with that? What is up with that suspicious looking floating castle though? That doesn't even look like it belongs in this time in this time in this history in this time in history. Oh, yeesh. Oh, hold, easy. She had to go and heal him. I wonder if the class really is supposed to look like that though. Is it really how it's described? Well, reminds me. They came across the eccentric group. I mean, they had to stop by and they had to make money, so they're gonna have to accept something. Otherwise, they'll just end up having to do jobs here just to pay off a debt. Yeah. Then, like, even if there's more detail to that, the subtle point there, kind of, I think it should come across well enough. Hmm. I don't blame you, fam. That's the advice you give it. I mean, wait, wait a minute. Could it be have to do something with the kitten itself, or is it just a matter of luck's gonna run into somebody? Oh, yeah. Parents can't sleep. I'm sorry, my dear. I hope so. I really hope so. Is it mana? Is it mana? Is it like strands of, residual mana or something? Oh, just a scent. Or it could be that and this. It could be both. But that looks inviting. Oh, is this is wait, is that a is that an animal cell? Is that a B cell or something? Are you selling? Oh, earth magic. Ooh. I mean, you did take him to take him out. You did take care of him pretty handily. Ow. Yeah. Wow. It wasn't errors that did that. It was yeah. He's very protect. He's like a fatherly thing. He's very protect. He's very fond of children, and he considers anybody who hurts childs like evil, like who should be punished. I don't blame him. I can see that. I can understand that mindset, but geez. Yeah, it didn't sit well with him. For Rudiger, it didn't sit well with him that Rudy got kicked. Yeah, that's true. Guys, this is actually very grave. Please, guys, say something. The bag's out. Oh man. No, 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 wait, wait, wait. Like, even Erz doesn't like it either. Damn, this. You gotta question. You gotta really think about Rugier's what he thinks is wrong and right, and how he can be, and how it's kind of what he's doing is just hypocritical. It is like, man, this is just like this is actually just that was a very that was just a very uneasy sort of atmosphere there because Rugier is nice to them, but only nice to them. It seems to be only nice to them. Anyone who even bothers to harm a hair on those two, he is gonna kill. He is going to take. He's going to take out or try to take out because he cares for children that much. I mean, I'm not just Erasmus, like any child in particular. Oh yeah. Oh, perfect timing. About that. Yeah, that horse is annoying. The value of the life in a first job. Well, the title kind of sums that up. I wow, wow. That was just an interesting. That was really interesting. Like I can get Rugier's, emotions a little bit. He's a little too tense up, like which would put people. Which I feel like the nitpickers will say is like that doesn't make sense. You have to think like what happened. Like how much was it? How bad was it for him? In terms of his mentality, that the curse that when he got affected by those cursed weapons, and how he's trying to make amends for it, but when he has this sort of protective, I guess, fatherly, I guess a father complex, you can say, something like that, but to the point where he'll get overprotective, and he'll just consider anyone who hurts someone young, a child, like evil. So it's, I don't know how to put this in proper words. I'm just kind of in awe on like how impressive this is, because it's not trying to scream and shout something like with emotions and all, but it, there is a really, really intricate sort of, there's a lot of intricate things going on, even with something as simple as just them going, just figure out, oh, we need to make a stop, but if we make a stop, we're gonna have to take up some residents, earn some money to get food, earn some money to get the food and lodgings until we can move on to places. And while they're at it, they may have to get tangled up with whatever the hell is that floating castle there, and any secrets and stuff, and anything that may involve Ruja. I mean, because it feels more than just the problem with. It feels like what we just got from the previous episode is just the tip of the iceberg, because Rouger seems nice at first. He really like a chill dude. But when Rudy got kicked, he just snapped and just that ant's head. Bruce is still young to be seeing when people get killed. We're talking about the other world. Yeah, his reaction is very realistic. You can't just, if he was just there just with no reaction at all, I would have been just very disappointed, because just like, oh, he's just all of a sudden just over it. This is a problem I always have with in most fantasy settings too, when the protagonist is just instantly over it. Like in the majority of fantasy series I've watched, the protagonist's development is just very, very inconsistent, for the most part. That I've always had a problem when fantasy series usually do that, and even when they do try to address the main character's development, then they somehow just fail to look at managing the story, so they're not really able to handle the two. But I feel like the series right here, it's balancing it very well so far, and it's not trying to jump into things, not trying to get us into some big action stuff. It's just kind of just telling the story as it goes along. And what makes me really curious about is just like, there's no like, with the exception of Roxy's parents, there was not one point where other foreign races were speaking Japanese. Like, all this time, guys, he is 14 years old mentally, but aside from that, he has witnessed killed. Second time his witness killed within 3 years. And I don't think he's really witnessed someone being killed, in front of him back in his previous life. That's something. Because I get, you can see people, when you play games or you watch anime, you see hack and slash, you see people dying left and right. I'd be pretty shook if I see someone die in front of me. Like, I'd be pretty shook. Like, and for me to get used to it would be how much I can mentally get over it. I mean, I'll still, I've never felt comfortable this is why I never feel comfortable when I talk about death. When I talk about death, applying to real life. The conflicts I have since Spice Joy all know that conflicts will tighten their bonds in the end. I don't some the 20 years inside the house without direction, but I recently counted having the same mental load as his body. If you're gonna count like social years, that would be 20 years old. If you think a guilt-filled warrior who has been shunned by the entire world for 40 years will have a normal, healthy temperament? No, of course not. Of course not. I knew there was a lot going on with Rudia, but it was still very interesting to see. It's just like this. It's just like it feels like he was hiding something. When I really think about it, it's feel like he's just kind of holding back something. Like, yeah, he looks calm and all, he looks friendly and all, but he looks like the guy that if you rub him the wrong way, you just get clapped up or just get decapitated. And yeah, it's not surprising that he turns out to be that sort of character. I don't know which for Rudy's reaction. If you're talking about that is very reasonable. I mean, it's not as big a it's not as substantial a reaction as the first time, because at least when the little you get exposed to, even if you're still taken out, you're a little like bit by bit a little less taken aback. I mean, you're still very shook, but you're still shook, but you just like, oh no, not this again, kind of thing. Mysterious Green Star says, if I saw someone died of being cut in half from my reaction like Rudy is, despite being 32 years old. I would see Rudy's mind more like a mix between his kid years and more isolated, and some experience from the previous years. Mentality doesn't correlate solely to their age. There's also experience that comes with age. But as a NEET, Rudy almost doesn't experience anything as an adult in his old world. Yeah, this is why he did like this is why this new life he's given, this new world is given, it's kind of like a whole new experience, and he's still trying to manage his way through it. But you can see at times where he could get the whole time I was watching it, I was wondering at one point where his lack of experience for the outside world may land him into some trouble. Like, there will be at one point where that could happen, and a lot of complications can occur. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. He's a man-child. I mean, but it's not like man-childs aren't old. It's not like man-childs are a rarity. I know not everyone hears about this name, but Shaquille O'Neal. He's retired now, but he was quite a legend. He was quite sort of a rowdy guy too, in times, like because of how he is. He's just like a goofy dude. Sometimes does get easily pissed off at times. But even now, when he's retired, he is still he still has that sort of mentality. And so, but it's not like Shaq is like just stupid. It's just how he is, or he's just like just a bum, or just like he's not good. He's not a good person. It's just how he is. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's not a good example. It's not an ideal example, but I mean, a man-child is just like mentally they're kind of like a child, but it's not like they don't have a good amount of intelligence or experience at hand. But then experience can vary depending on how you lived, on how you lived life. And I'm not gonna say I have I did have quite an experience back, from only back from when I was more of a, during teenagers and early 20s. In the last several years, I haven't been really as outgoing as I used to be, but at least I still can consider having had experience. But I mean, maybe not as much as someone who has consistently been outgoing, even at a younger age. Like I would still have less experience than someone who's been more outgoing consistently, even if he or she is at a younger age. Just something like that. I agree. I always figured that Ruth is a mix between a 10-year-old and a kid and a 34-year-old. A 34-year-old who was extremely emotionally and socially stunted. That is very, yeah, and that is very true to say that, Rizzo. I mean, and again, Rudius is like, at first he treated it like as an RPG game, but then like he realizes there's more about this world. This world is real. These people, the people in the other, other race, not like the demi-humans they're genuine. They're like they have a personality. They're not just caricatures or how do you pronounce? I think that pronounced that right, or I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Caricatures, they're not just caricatures, just archetypal. They have more. They're a person. They are people. They are genuine. They're relatable. Whether you want, you can see something relatable or something that feels more down to earth, whether you like it or not. But that's what makes this series so interesting. It balances itself well. I mean, it clicks just right. I mean, it didn't go overboard on anything in particular, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I get it. Rudy is a pervert. There's a lot of things, a lot of issues. There's the divisiveness on how sexuality and some moral, social, social views are, how they're looked upon by the audience, by some of the audience, especially the ones that just can't really accept something like that because like they are just SJWs. Just saying. He's similar to Mine from Ascendance of a Bookworm in that in the series, the Mine we see is a blend of the original Mine and Urano, her past life. Yeah, that is something that is about as similar as you can get there. In the previous episode, Ruger hinted that he missed his family. I would bet. So, I'm pretty sure he does. I mean, I don't know how long he's been separated from them though. I mean, probably about as long as, at least maybe longer than Eris and Rudy have from the rest of the Grey Rats. That's a nice, interesting thing that you bring up more. I mean, I feel like Ruger is just putting up a front, which is understandable. I mean, he feel, again, like I said, he feel like a guy that's just kind of putting up this front or this facade, just holding something in. But when something he doesn't see, when he sees something he doesn't like or he feels like is just he's classified as evil, he retaliates. I heard a rumor next episode will be a 40-minute long. Hope it's true. I heard that too. More is going to be around 40 to 50 minutes long. I hope the next episode is a double episode. Would it be a double episode? I wonder if it's a double episode because they couldn't find a time slot for a possible episode 12. Is that the possible case? or were they somehow able to do, like, if assuming these rumors I'm hearing from the show right now are true, that was a double, it might be a double header. I mean, well, no, not a double header, a double length episode. Because I feel like that would be a good way to finish up whatever, particularly focused topic they're on. I don't know how it's gonna finish off. I'm pretty sure it's gonna finish off on a bit of a. I'm pretty sure it's finishing off on a cliffhanger, like a major cliffhanger, because they would still in the middle of the journey. They're still kind of just stuck. They would still be kind of stuck in the city they're in, and we're just gonna have, and like whatever situation within the city that they may have to resolve, they're gonna have, like, that's gonna take a while, and then like I think it will just finish off with them being able to maybe resolve that, and then just moving on to the next part, to the journey back. That's just my opinion. I don't know how. I don't know how the light novels go on that one. I hope the next episode is a double episode. Imagine cover the events leading up to them leaving the city. I love to see anime that comes out of novels. It's a complete story. It's incredible tales of journey. I gotta leave before. Alright, take care, man. He's quite sociable in elementary school, became an otaku and neglected his studies in middle school. Yeah, I heard about that. He only got accepted in low class high school. Then he got bullied in that high school and he became a NEET because of that. That's rough. Yeah. Rizzo actually shared me about that, and I kind of and I'm a little bit upset that the anime didn't show that part. I feel like but then again, I don't think it would have changed any of the doubters, the naysayers' minds. Or at least most of them, because they're just gonna keep focus, because we're gonna saying excuses like, "Oh, this is source material," like, I don't know what to say about that. No, I don't mean a double episode. I mean a double length episode. TPP CRPG. The sexual pervertedness of everyone in the series actually portrays the medieval noble life quite well. If I like, from what I remember, and I think I've talked about that before, I gotta think about how medieval life really may have been depicted. Like, I know a bunch of them. For most of the medieval fantasies I've seen, I feel like they're just rigged. They just feel, most of them just feel archetype. They feel like more like archetypal or something. I can't say this right. Like it's just like they're just there. They just show it at face value. They don't show any deeper stuff like the social, political things. Whatever political things is there, it's just rigged for the story. But Mushoku Tensei built different. It's built different, fam. It's showing the good, bad, and ugly aspects to tell the entire settings. Whether you like it or not. You got the dirtiest of the dirty, and then you got the brightest of the brightest. I think we'll finish the quote with them leaving the city. He started getting bullied for helping a bullied kid, and then even the one he helped join and do not get bullied anymore. He simply show things as they are. I don't like it's still a stellar adaptation. It's still like one of the best the only thing that even though I don't know much about what the light novel contains, I feel like this is a very good, I've never seen this good in terms of even just adaptation. Like, I know it's great as an anime itself, but it's such a good adaptation so far from what I've been shown. And the only other show that I really thought was a good that is currently, well, as at least just currently airing, would be Jujutsu Kaisen, which is almost 1-to-1 an adaptation. Such a steady pace and all. And this is also Mushoku Tensei is at a pretty steady pace. Yeah, there's a little bit of pacing fluctuations here and there, but for the most part, it's not trying to really rush into things so far. And that's the most impressive part, because it lets us get more immersed into these settings. It's not trying to hurry things along. I just finished the web novel. The anime, if the production keeps the anime pace like this, I think the series will end in 7 to 8 seasons. Mushoku Tensei is basically Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. Hope it doesn't end like Game of Thrones. Oh God, we don't talk about Game of Thrones here, okay? We don't talk about the game. We don't talk about Game of Trash. All right, we don't do that here. Demons have a different set of morality than humans in this world. The way they portrayed it was well done and shows subtle emotions, which is rare in anime. You can see that the humans are definitely have a different different overall mentality than the human race or any other non-human race. You can clearly see that they're pretty rude. They're kind of crude with how they say things. It's not like they're all bad. That's just how they are, and probably what's been accepted socially and morally within their own race, beliefs, religions, whatever you call it. I mean, if you want a good example of that, I mean, I'm trying to think of an example. I'm trying to really think of an example. I would guess the Middle Easterns have that sort of beliefs that you may not find acceptable in Western places. India, I don't want to pull this up, but a lot of those that are actually Africans, not blacks, actual Africans. And then like some other, there's plenty of other examples in real life out there. To me, it's like it's too real for comfort to the most vocal of those complaining. I feel like the people that are being so complacent are like they're just too shook by how real this is, and they just don't want to admit it's real. My problem, like, the only time I'll complain with depictions like that is if it feels like it's hurting the story. If it's hurting the story or it's hurting the character progressions, and so on and so forth. But it's not here. It's not here. And it's not, and I don't see that, and I don't see that, being, and I don't see that, and I don't see any exceptions to that for at least the entire. I'm not expecting any changes from that. Ever seen dead body be like, this is nothing? That makes me really wonder. Is this how I wonder what Eris has been seeing when she's been living her life, because I don't think she had much of a reaction. I didn't see it. We didn't really see it, but she didn't seem very reactive because she didn't really seem as traumatically shocked when Ghislaine just took out those thieves, those kidnappers. So I guess you'd also have to think how Eris was raised up as well. Like maybe she's been used to the sort of death before, or maybe it's because of her nature, her sort of personality, that death doesn't really shake her up as much. Whereas Rudy is totally not like Eris in terms of personality, because he's a little. Yeah, we get perverted, but he's also kind of someone that is a little bit more, I guess, laid back, a little cunning at times. Well, he's very cunning at times, and he's also like very caring. And then so when he sees someone get the head chopped off, he's just like, was that necessary? I want to mention a bit of compression in the episode. When they went to the gate, they had a bit of a back and forth with the guards. Rudy made a helmet by Earth magic so they can sneak in. They dyed Rudy's hair well after the fact. Huh. So that's interesting. But I feel like I feel like the dyeing the hair may have been some, like, I was wondering if it's like, are they just gonna get easily fooled? And I feel like you know, the way things are, and you may have to consider, like, it's sort of a hustle bustle city. And you probably think they probably just overlook it, but yeah, I could see where the compression was at this point. Earth was raised as a feudal mortal daughter. She probably already saw that. So Rizzo, thanks for the heads up on what was compressed and what was compressed there. That is something. I don't think it's I don't think it's a big deal, but you know, with light novel adaptations, some stuff will get compressed or changed. But so far, I don't think it really was that too big of a deal that it was changed on how they were able to sneak Ruger in. In medieval life, death by killing is just normal, probably. Considering war and that demon is probably more open to killing in town. Rizzo says, I think the author was going for how someone from, say, the medieval period would react to death for Eris. Rudy is the strange one to have a more is considered the strange one to have a more modern perspective. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. And this and this is where it's key. Eris at a similar age sees death, doesn't even flinch because of how she was brought up as a feudal lord's daughter. Ruger, previously a shun-in NEET, in his previous life, probably never saw death up in real life, excluding his own, because he's the victim. So. And was raised started as a baby, raised in a pretty loving family despite all the adultery that was behind it. Probably never really got exposed to anything close to death. Close to death. Comes into Eris's life. He's already comes to Eris's life, sees death for the first time, and just passes out, literally. As far as compressions goes, that is absolutely one of the things to cut out. Oh, so if anything needed to cut out, that one was fine. Is that what you're saying? If that's, yeah, I would say that's an acceptable one to cut away, because I don't think it made that big a deal. The main adaptation, I read the manga version a year ago, but it's good. But after the anime came out, I began so engrossed and continued reading the web novel. I'm only checking out light novels at this point because web novels are, I feel like light novels are a little bit more polished. They're a little bit more easier to just kind of. They're a little easier. They're a little kind of easier to access for me too, personally. But even though I'm not really much into light novels, because the thing is, and also it's just like. Okay, I read the web novel, but I don't have an entry to put it in to record it, so I remember that I've actually read it, and then because it would be different from what I read in the light novel, no, but whatever. Ruger and Superior in general are probably just straightforward people, so they don't even think of other options. Even Ruger himself said he would have jumped the wall. The feudal lord in these times were also the judge, so he probably saw these executions. Oh yeah, the first episode of Game of Thrones is the perfect example of that. Yep. Yeah, it just wasn't that important of an event. Yeah, it wasn't important. Like, it would be funny to see the banter with the guards, but it wasn't the most important. It was far from the most important part of that story at the time. I mean, and it wasn't. It was. I mean, we still got plenty of amusement even then. Literally, my my dear my dear children, Rudy and Eric, just kind of stepping in, playing their little Chunimo, acting like adventurers. I mean, that's a thumbnail if I want to say so. We get that, and then like they're trying to play up Ruger's reputation by, you know, the way they're sort of like kind of just, I don't know, is Ruger just playing some 4D chess here? Because he sneaks in, like he's trying to hide, he's trying to hide Ruger's identity. But then all of a sudden, and then he goes in, he declares, "Oh hey, this is dead. This is dead end, by the way." It's just like a boat. He wants to act like someone that is posting. Oh, because he looks like it, I think he is dead end, and he kind of, you know, gets everyone hooked on it, and things like, this little kid's joking around and shit. So that was really nice, and I don't know what I'm not so sure how much more he has planned out, but now he wants the name Dead End to spread, and I don't know how it's gonna play out, but it's gonna be interesting to see how how his plan plays out, and he is gonna get involved in something. All right, Rizzo, have a good one. So far, the only part I really missed was Rudy's monologue in episode 8 after the scene with Eris. But a question of 40, just wait till next episode. Oh, then I can't wait then. All right, but I think that's all. This is a pretty good stream. I mean, unfortunately, I wish I remembered having quite an audience in that one. That one episode reaction. I think it was the episode 7 or 8, and unfortunately YouTube took forever to have it uploaded, to have it kind of made public. You know, just straight up public, and you know, like you can still get to the link on it, but you can't download it or anything. But it took so long, and then until it finally made it available. And I don't know why YouTube did that, but yeah. Thank you guys for coming out. I mean, I'm not always I don't always screw, you know. I'm not always good at my words. Okay, so before I cut off the stream, I was discussing someone, like, you know, all these people, they're just so vocal and all, like too overly vocal. If anyone knows a certain channel called Hiding in Public, he's actually very big. I've actually shared some of his videos on my Discord server, especially the I've liked his Origami related video. I like his Jujutsu Kaisen related video. His Mushoku Tensei video was initially released, but then because of some backlash in the comments, because people were just being so toxic, saying, "Oh, this man's a pedophile," like, and all the arguments with it, he had to make it private. And it was so unfortunate. He went on Twitch. I dropped by to say hello, and he is trying to make clear of what's going on, because he wants to communicate why Rudy is like this, and why Rudy is not the problem but a strength of the show, which I can agree to, which I can actually agree to. So it's kind of unfortunate that people are just going to be so utterly vocal about shit, like, you know, such trivial shit, just because, like, oh, they can't fucking take this. I am more of, okay, spoilers. I am more offended by how Eren by how Eren, you know, in Attack on Titan would handle the shit with Mikasa and Armin. Like in the latest episode today, before it got shut down by the earthquake thing. I'm more offended by that than anything Rudis does. Yes, I'm still uncomfortable with it, but it's just like, oh yeah, that we know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he released a Mushoku Tensei video, but he made it private because some fucking idiots in the comments section were just so just didn't want to accept this man's preaching, and they just went out and say, some actually even said, oh, this man's a pedophile law. Like, what? That is so disappointing to see how people like that react. But man, it'd be like that. But again, I'm like, I've already mentioned what I would be more offended by, and I'm pretty sure if I already commented in the Discord server how I did not like how I did not like the show, you know, that one part, you know, of that, like how I was more offended by that because like it didn't have enough ties story-wise to really make me feel like it amounted enough, or, you know, was redeemable enough for me. But yeah, it was unfortunate how it went down. So anyways, I gotta get going. I mean, it's actually 10:40 where I'm at right now, so I gotta kind of make a break for it. You know, go prepare some lunch. You know, I am kind of hungry right now, and you know, try to get through the day and just stay off of Twitter because you know, I don't want to hear these idiots, you know, talking whack about this show when they have when they don't have any good reasonable actual valid justifications for their arguments. It is just more if they went with, oh, I don't like how this is depicted. I simply don't agree with it. That'd be fine. But if you just say, oh, this is bad, does this and this and that, and try to be objective about it, I have a problem with that. I will have a problem with that. Like, I'm not gonna take it. All right, I've said enough. Like, share, subscribe, follow me on all social media platforms I use. You can also join my Discord server. You can also support me on Patreon. You can also support the other channels on. You can also look in and support the other channels that I also check up on. I also added Hiding in Public's you know, channel if you want to go ahead and check that out. And if you're nice enough to anyone who is sub to him, who knows him well, who's maybe talk to him, let him know that I gave him a little bit of a shout out here. Let him know so he can kind of, you know, acknowledge it, that maybe shout me out, and we could just share a little bit of the audience. I mean, it would help. It would help spread the word about this series, about a series like this as well. Because man, oh man, I mean, people who are just doubting the series are really missing out. I mean, they looking old. They're just the goal is right there in plain sight, and they're just looking at, and the only thing they can focus on is the ugly stuff. Anyways, oh, I was talking about Hiding in Publix. It was unfortunate. It was an unfortunate thing with the Mushoku Tensei video, and basically he posted his honest thoughts about it and regarding Rudy and why he's important to the show, and then people just had a backlash on it. There's a bunch of comments out of it, which are, you know, just trying to call him out. They're mostly at the bottom. Those were mostly at the bottom though. Like, the top ones were the ones that were agreeing with him, but there were just way too many of the ones. The channel name is Hiding in Public. I've already put it in the description of this video, so go ahead and check that out. He has some good stuff. You go ahead and check it out. So yeah, but this is gonna be it, guys. So just the Reincarnation signing off. See you next time. Take care. Stay safe. Stay really safe, man. Like, we're at that point where we can get out of this freaking pandemic. I mean, I know there's vaccines going on, but there's still restrictions there. It still takes time to spread things out. I mean, they're not total complete vaccines. They're just kind of there, just stall for time until they can find a complete one. But yeah, just hang in tight, guys. We can finally get out of this. So this is Reincarnation signing off. See you next time. Take care, stay safe, and have yourselves a good day.